What up, everybody? Today I've got Mike Oden. What's up, Mike?
What's up, Lola? Good to be back.
Yeah, I loved having you on the last time. Let's promote what you're doing, man. And I've got Wise Guys here to help me before we go into our tiny food challenge.
Howdy.
Before I whip his ass in some tiny food challenge.
Bring it. Bring it.
What's the challenge?
Okay, so Wise, do you want to explain? Oh, we got a Will. What's up, Will? What's up,
Hi, guys. I don't have much time, but I just wanted to come in and say hello to my favorite people, which is Mike Oden.
I like the avatar.
Will, have you met Wise Guys yet?
Yeah, I've run into Wise Guys a few times.
Howdy.
Hi, how you doing, sir? Long time no see.
Indeed.
But Oden, he's a true soldier. He's a great man. Great project. I truly love the man, so I just wanted to come and say that.
I appreciate it, Will.
He deserves 7, 8, 9 figures.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
If only.
You know?
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Absolutely love having all of you here. What are you doing, Mike? What is this new project that you're working on?
So there's actually two things that we've got going on right now. The first thing that we've got is if I can talk, Nine Realms is doing a webtoon called Errand of the Sable Knight. Right now,
hold on, let me stop you right there. What exactly is a webtoon?
So webtoon is a online comic platform that's gotten pretty big over the past few years. They used to really specify in manga, but over the past year and a half, there's been a lot more Western comics that have been making their way onto it. DC, in their desperation, has even signed a deal to bring a whole bunch of DC titles to webtoon, because the big appeal to it is it reaches a mass market because it's free. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of free content. And so one of the avenues that I'm looking to expand Nine Realms and build an audience is through webtoon. So we have this series called Errand of the Sable Knight, which is kind of my love letter to Arthurian lore and legend.
Did you say furry?
Arthurian.
Okay, I thought you said furrian. I was like, what is a furrian? And does that have to do with furries?
No. Dear God, no.
Well, also, Oden, the cool thing about webtoons, I'm not sure if webtoons allows this, but I know Archaven does, where you don't have to drop the entire book. You can do it maybe in 4-page increments or 2-page increments.
Yeah,
and do it daily.
Webtoon does allow for that, and so right now our release pattern is every 2 weeks we update a new page. Like we're still in the process of making of the book. We have about I'd say 6 or 7 pages that have been finished, but we're trying to make sure that we don't run out of content too quick. So we're only releasing it at 1-page increments every 2 weeks, and then you can. We have a Patreon that if you back for even just $1 a month, you get early access to all of the webtoon stuff 3 weeks ahead of time. So like if you have the Patreon, if you're a Patreon subscriber, you'll be able to read the first 3 pages of Errand of the Sable Knight already as is, and we're maintaining the 3 weeks ahead of schedule. So you get early access to the content through that.
That's awesome, man. I got a chat over here. Y'all want to say hi to the chat? I've got Flying Feline. What's up, beautiful lady?
Hi,
so happy to see you in here. Like, I love doing these like earlier shows than my normal late night show because like my friends get to come in. They're not all in bed
and exhausted. And what up, Death Metal Hero? My good friend Luke, another good friend of mine.
Yes, Death Metal. What's up, Lukey, man?
My brother from another mother, indeed.
Luke is awesome. I love Luke. Like, have you checked out his channel? Mike?
Oh, I've been on Luke's channel like 3 or 4 times. I was on a edition of What's in the Box, and we took a look at 1 or 2 of my campaigns on his channel. Love Luke; he's a great guy.
Yeah, he's
So
like
you
a
know how
berserker.
awesome Luke is.
He's good to have in your corner. He's like a 9 foot tall, crazy guy with a club, and he'll hold that bridge for you so you can get away.
But at least 3 feet of him is that mohawk, right?
Yeah, and I keep
Has to
telling
be.
him he's got to like expand not in the midsection but in the upper body, and I want to see that. You know what I mean? Because he has to. It just would bother me if we had a convention and anything but like this giant bulky Viking with horns. I know they didn't have horns, but I think horns are cool. Showed up and walked through the door, and stomped in and said, "Hey guys."
We love Luke. Luke is awesome people, man.
Yeah, he's scary, but he's a teddy bear.
But we also have Yodam. What's up, Yodam Darkstar?
Yeah, man.
We got a Wookiee. We got a Wookiee up in the house. It's about to be a party.
I know Flying Feline did pick up a Latin dictionary, so one day if I go on the trivia again, we can do that.
Oh yeah, man! Like her trivia, like she was doing it on Wednesday nights, but I don't know if she's still doing that. I don't want to put anything out there that she doesn't want out there, but she like the trivia challenges are so much fun, and like the questions she asks are so just like intricate and difficult. It's like I don't know the answer to this.
That was challenging.
Yeah, it's like who was a Secretary of State during the Vietnam War, and I'm like, I mean Alexander Haig. I don't know.
She is so
Maybe.
smart. Like I absolutely love her. She's beautiful. Love her. What's up, Timothy Olson? And I just clicked off you. What's up, Timothy?
But wasn't Trivial Pursuit kind of built for drunken play?
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
I
thought
think
this
so.
was for like, eggheads who.
No,
Sober.
I've only ever played it around drunk or high people.
That's the only time I've ever played it is when I'm drunk.
Yeah, like you're sitting around, you're on the couch, you're kind of feeling lethargic, and you're like, what do you want to do? Oh, let's pull up the Trivial Pursuit.
That was always
Yeah,
one
that's
of
pretty
those-
much it.
Yeah.
What's
I was
up,
horrible at
booty
the game.
juice?
Woo!
What
Got
a
a
name.
man in the house.
It's a great name.
And Phantasmagorical, what's up, my girl? That's my girl, y'all.
Speaking of booty
Hopefully,
juice.
gonna have a project with Booty Juice here coming out
I
soon.
think I'm gonna watch
See.
what do you call it, Tropic Thunder tonight because of him.
Oh.
That
Outstanding.
sounds fun. Tropic Thunder is so much, and every like few months they try to cancel that movie.
Yeah, like some SJW is like, I discovered gold that no one else has discovered. I'm gonna cancel, Tropic Thunder. It happens every year. It's like a holiday with these people.
Yeah, like there should be like a day set aside for cancel Tropic Thunder.
It's because it is like a gold mine if you're stupid, right? And you're like, I found something. It's got everything.
I've yet
What's
to
up?
see-
What about? What's up, my brother? So you were telling us about this webtoon that you're doing. So you want to pull it up here so we can look at it?
Yeah,
It's a great source of revenue too for independent creators because once you run your course on Indiegogo and the book kind of has a shelf life, it's a great place to kind of catch additional casual readers.
Oh, absolutely, and that's kind of like the whole idea behind it is that I want to get Nine Realms to a point where in the next 5 years we're doing less crowdfunding. Like crowdfunding will still be a avenue of business for like top tier collector products, but that the majority of everything that we have is self-sufficient, whether it's by having an online catalog or anything like that. Like the idea is that, crowdfunding is a great builder model, but it shouldn't be the sustained model, right?
Right.
So the goal is to get out there, get to the audience the best way possible, and with the potential audience of Webtoon and the unbeatable price of free, that's what we really wanted to tap into here. And so this is Aaron to the Sable Knight, and so this is our effectively our cover. We've got Paul Dino Agor, if I can talk, doing the line work, and Avery Ferdinand doing the colors.
Beautiful cover.
Yeah. And then this is our first page. This is what's up on Errand of the Sable Knight right now.
Whoa, you're moving it too fast, man. You're moving it too fast.
Oh, I apologize.
I'm trying to look at the art here.
I mean, like,
let's make it full screen.
Nine Realms and Mike Oden's kind of a sort of the best kept secret of CG, because he's a machine and he moves fast. But if you look at the evolution of his work, the quality is just getting better and better and better with every book.
And that's really what we aim to do. Is I want Nine Realms to be a thing that, like, we adapt, we grow, and every single time we release a new IP, every single time that we release a new story, it's going to be bigger than the last. It's going to be more visually striking. It's going to embody all the feedback that we've gotten on every project we've done so far. Yeah.
Before we go any further, Mike, I gotta ask. I know you heard the news about OnlyFans.
Mike has. Do you have an OnlyFans, Oden?
We had this discussion last time, Will.
I mean, I was asking about it in private.
Last time he was on, like, remember we discovered that he has an OnlyFans and he LARPs as a pizza man.
It's been a tough hit, but we got to make do.
Oh,
who is the colorist? Somebody's asking in the chat. They would like to know. If you could shout
his name is Avery Ferdinand. He's outstanding.
His colors look really good, man.
Yeah, him and Dino work very well on the high fantasy or even neopeplum material. Like, if you want a team to do like a medieval book or a book set in antiquity or what have you, like, these guys are incredible. Avery, I've brought on. I'm going to be working with on. He's already working with me on Elysian Fields. I brought him on, and he's the new colorist of that book. And he's doing Errand of the Sable Knight with Paul Dino Agor, who's the line artist on Errand. And then I have another project. The working title is called Pro McCoy, where I'll be working with Vaughn Randall, who's done a few variants for us in the past. He's just exceptional, and I've been looking forward to doing something with him. But so it'll be Vaughn Randall and Avery Ferdinand that I'll be working with on that.
So it's the same people there on this as well. So
yeah, I try Avery I've used on a bunch of projects. But, like, I try to make sure that line artists I rotate, right? Like,
did you do the Embraced, Oden, as well?
He was initially slated. Avery was initially slated to do the colors on the Embrace, but it wasn't a good fit.
Okay.
And so we ended up getting Paul Billick, who was used for Shinobi Sasquatch.
That's cool.
Beautiful work on that book.
Yeah.
What's up, Mogwai?
That explains a lot.
Hola, Mogwai.
Lola does not. Well, she does, but I manage it, and if you would like access, we can talk in private.
Wait, what?
Never mind.
No, I don't have no OnlyFans. Forget all of that.
You get an OnlyFans agent.
That's how I buy my gum each month.
That takes too much time and work. Come on.
But that does make sense that he colored Shinobi, because that the Embraced has a very distinct look.
Yeah.
To its coloring, it's got that. You guys have seen those scenes in the Shinobi Sasquatch where he's fighting the fire demon, and how beautiful and vibrant those are, and it all takes place at night. And he really does a good job of filling in Willis's night work, so to speak.
Yeah.
And the Embrace is basically a night book that relies on a lot of mood. So he's good at filling in that night work, if I can put it that way.
Yeah, no, 100%. And, like, that was, Paul got so excited when we had him do the sample page, and, like, we knew immediately. He sent us his sample page for it after when we were looking for a new colorist, and we like knew immediately. And so I sent him the script, and he read it. Like, oh my god, this is gonna be so exciting, because it all takes place at night. It's this very dark setting, and that's where I really like to work. And I was like, well, I mean,
He's like the Darius Kunji of comics.
Well, let me
You know?
ask you, like, can you take a webtoons and make it into like an actual physical comic as well?
yeah, the only thing that I do with webtoons is I make sure that we post all of our content on here initially, and the goal with Errand of the Sable Knight is that eventually, when this finishes, I'm going to release it all into a hardcover book with golden inlay on the pages, because I want it to be like a classical storybook kind of deal. And that's the whole approach that I've had with Errand. It's the script for it's entirely written. It's just shy of 200 pages.
Oh wow!
Um,
I told
and
you, he's a machine, man.
So do you
and
already have the 200 pages written out?
yeah, no, the entire thing is written, and it's very unique. It's not written the way that a normal script is, where I do panel breakdowns. It's as I said, this is my love letter to Arthurian lore. The first book that I ever read on my own outside of school was Howard Pyle's King Arthur and His Knights. And so Arthur holds a very big very big place in my heart. And so the way that I wrote the script was, rather than breaking it down into panels or anything like that, I wrote like 2 or 3 paragraphs of prose, and then I let Dino read that, and then he lays out a page as a cohesive piece that tells that story. And then I take the bits that can't be that he couldn't tell visually, and I put that into the lettering, right? And then the stuff that he does tell visually, I omit. Like it doesn't get put into the book. So you have this opening here, where it's like, this is a set, like you obviously have the description. I would have like the description of like how Camelot looks and everything.
Right.
And I still have some of it in here, but it's a bit more condensed.
I just want to point out that like King Arthur and Arthurian stories are like really near and dear to my heart. Like I've always loved the story of King Arthur and Princess Guinevere.
Except for the Mists of Avalon, we can do without that one.
Hey.
Yeah, we could do without that one. But I had a teacher in my senior year of high school. We were allowed to pick out books, right? Mm-hmm. And we had to write like book reports on them. And so I literally read like a whole series of King Arthur stories.
That's awesome.
that was my whole semester. Like I would sit and read King Arthur, and then I wrote book reports.
That's outstanding.
So I have a question about this book, Oden.
Yeah.
So when he's coming in here, like when does Achilles and like Ajax jump out and there's like a huge fight?
Hey, that's what Pro McCoy is going to be all for, man. Like that's a whole other project, and that's one that I've gushed about to Will for like a long time, and I had like a massive breakthrough on it. So I'm going to actually be starting the script on that pretty soon.
Is that the one where you were doing the character designs yourself? That one?
I've been working. I was working on those for a bit, but like at this point, I'm not even sure if I'm going to use those. Like I might use those as reference.
Well, they were beautiful. That's why I was asking. I remember you showing us the designs for your specific designs for the Homeric heroes. And I was like, that looks effing beautiful.
Yeah, and they're going to maintain that. Like I'm going to be like I'm going to be working with one of my buddies that like we grew up together. Then the Iliad has hold a place in our heart, and we've. This is a whole thing where like I want to make sure that
Oden, really?
Oh, dude.
What the hell you say?
but so like we're going to be going through and like effectively tailoring specific Bronze Age era armor sets to each character when we and create like a massive reference file.
Yeah, that was a spin. I thought it was cool that you're doing that.
Yeah.
So do you have more that you can show us from this, Oden?
From this book?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I could probably show you one thing. Let's see. All right, I'm
Show
gonna.
us, show us, and not your pizza get up.
No, not my pizza.
Show it to me,
get up.
Odin. Just do it.
Get up.
We're gonna stop that
I
screen,
missed it somewhere.
and then.
Turn on your camera and stand up.
Oh yes, of course. Oh.
Wait, do you have your Domino's hat on tonight?
I hate you guys. I don't know why I'm here.
You love us, Mike. You love us.
Who was it in the chat that was like, dude, he looks like he's working for Dom. He got the hat and everything. It was like,
It was Mo Biggs.
yes.
But see, the Domino's reference turned into him having an OnlyFans, and then it turned into him doing porn, and that's why he's trying to do comics to get out of the porn industry.
Oh.
Yes,
all right.
he does stripograms.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
There's
Right,
women
so
who have that
Here's
fetish,
an
right?
exclusive look at the
Oh,
next
yeah.
page.
All right.
I won't the only version of it that I have colored right now is already fully lettered, and I don't want to share that because that's coming this Thursday to everything. But like this is what the second page of Errand looks like
Okay.
Cool.
without
So, like-
obviously without
so,
the
like-
colors. But
It's like each week we get a new page.
Yeah.
yes,
A new page this way.
it's every 2 weeks. Like I'm trying to make sure that we don't run out of our content too quickly.
I'm only asking these questions because I'm new to webtoons. Like,
No, you're all good.
I'm used to things being like, I have a hard time reading digital, you know.
Yeah.
But everything is going to digital now, right? So
Well,
like,
not everything, and there will be physical copies
Yeah.
of this. Like as one of the Patreon tier, like if you're backing at $5, I think a month on Patreon, at that minimum, we are going to be doing floppies of Errand, because the book is broken up into 8 chapters, and each chapter will be effectively a season of webtoon content.
right on.
Once each chapter finishes, I'm going to have a floppy made of that chapter, and the Patreon people get an exclusive edition of that floppy, and then the other floppies will be available on I'm going to be doing a 9 Realms catalog campaign here pretty soon, and that will potentially be a tier on there is the Errand of the Sable Knight floppy.
The access. Oh, okay.
I gotta ask Mike, what other books are you working on? I know you got the Embrace.
Oh shit.
So the embrace is done fully. I sent the print file into the printer here
Good.
last night.
You still back it?
No, you can't. It's
Oh, you
closed.
can't? I'm sorry. I'm not a good friend.
It's all good, man. We cleared 15K, which is what I cared about.
Yeah.
We raised,
Wow, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
we raised almost $2,000 in a weekend. We were
You were killing it that weekend. You were everywhere that weekend.
That's
Right?
That's how you get it done.
He was delivering pizzas, man. He was going everywhere.
I have 2 other projects that I can't talk about too much yet. One of them is potentially going to be drawn by Booty Juice, who's in the chat.
Great name.
And it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, he does excellent work.
He's brilliant, and if we get everything ironed out on this, it's going to be a book that will, again, like as I said, the goal is to make sure that every single title that we produce brings us to the next level. And I think when people see what we have going on with that particular character, and especially with with things that are going on presently, I think that people are really going to see that and be like, "Oh man, I want to read that book. I want to get a hold of that book." And it's going to be one of those things where, like, as great as the Embrace did, I expect this one to do even better. And then, I've got another book that I'm looking at doing with a guy you guys might have heard of named Joe Catapano.
Oh yeah, Joe's
that's
awesome. Star
that's a good-
Circuit looks so awesome.
So
That's a good get.
I can't say anything more about it right now, but he is tentatively the artist that will be attached to it, which is also very exciting. And then we've got, as I said, I've got Pro McCoy, which is going to be my historiographic retelling of the Trojan War, and that one I'm very excited about as well. And I am hopefully.
I just want to say hi to 24 Hours real quick before we
Yeah,
go.
no problem.
What up, 24 Eyes? Glad that you made it and you're hanging out with us, man.
Yeah, man.
But anyway, so sorry.
Mike Oden is eventually going to be too good for us. He's going to be getting like he's going to go for the
Dude,
super
like he's
size.
killing it. Like he's putting stuff out like left and right.
He'll be able
Yeah.
he'll be able to afford to get cheese on his Big Macs.
Well, I will never forget where I came from, and I will always make time to come on these streams, even if I become somewhat of a fat cat, which would be nice. But I mean, like honestly, like my big thing is we're just trying to keep getting more content out there. Like we're like, I have the script written for the next Elysian Fields, so we're hoping to like that. Like one of the big reasons we're doing the Nine Realms Publishing catalog campaign is to get the war chest going, so that way we can pay for the production of the next Elysian Fields book and the next Embrace. So that way, by the time that we're doing those campaigns, the majority of the book is already complete, right? So that way, the campaign funds that we raise on those campaigns, they aren't going to, paying for production. They're going to payment for print, like pay to have it printed, but then the rest of it is profit / investment into the next project,
Well, let me ask you this, Mike. What has been your biggest obstacle among all of your crowdfunding that you faced with all of your projects?
Biggest obstacle?
Mm-hmm.
Hitting the right target audience.
Right on. I can see that.
Like a lot of, with the exception of the Embrace, like I technically only have 2 IPs active right now, right? Like I've got the Embrace and I've got Elysian Fields, and so the first Elysian Fields book we did really well, and it was awesome and it was great. And then our second book, it kind of felt like we fell through the cracks a bit, and we did fine. I don't think we lost any money, but we effectively just broke even, which was a little disappointing given that we had a 200% profit margin on the first book.
Right.
Like I was able to immediately invest into the next book based off of the success on the first one.
So that's what you do then, right? Like you invest from the first one to the next one to the next one to the next one.
I do not expect to have any hard profits until we have at least 5 books out.
Yeah, easily.
Like that, because that's the whole thing is once I have like 5 books out effectively, it becomes, well, I can always print old material and sell it. I can always do all of that and get it out to stores. I can be constantly getting revenue in, which again goes into the whole 5-year plan of getting Nine Realms to a point where I have a back catalog that is pulling in funds consistently to the point where crowdfunding will be reserved for special things like collections of books and stuff like that.
Let me ask you this. What have you seen from doing like actual physical books versus like webtoons that you feel is like maybe one over the other? Like, do you have a preference or?
I mean, preference will always be physical.
Right.
The digital stuff that I'm doing as a way to effectively test a market that is up and coming, and do so in a way where I can have a pretty effect if it's handled right, we can grow our market. And even if none of these people go and they actually throw money at us, they're still reading Nine Realms books. That Nine Realms is still being cemented in their head as a brand.
Right on.
And that's what we're trying to accomplish here is brand recognition. And so that's the whole thing. Is it would be awesome if we were able to turn this into another form of revenue where we have people that are backing our Patreon because they really like this content. Because as I said, all you have to do is subscribe to the Patreon at just $1 a month, and then you get early access to these chapters. And eventually we're going to get to a point where we're not releasing just 1 page a month. We'll be releasing like one page per 2 weeks. We'll be releasing like 3 or 4, you know.
Right on,
It's
right
just
on.
for right now.
Now, how many pages is this? How many pages is Aaron's?
So all in all, once it's completed, it'll be close to 200 pages. I think that the final
Okay.
page is
Okay.
185.
Now, like, if you did a crowdfund for that, I mean, that would take you probably a year, maybe a year and a half for your artist to just complete that. I mean, that's like a lot of work.
Probably, and that's the other beautiful thing about this is that by splitting it up the way that I have, I am making sure that the artists have the ability to get this stuff done and be ahead of schedule, as opposed to feel like we're rushing it. To catch deadlines, and that's
Right.
another big thing for me is that I was military, right? And so if I say that I'm going to do something within a certain time window, I try to make sure that I'm within that time window. And so with Errand, you have this whole thing where it's like, well, I only have to, I have to make sure that I keep up with my timeline. I made sure that we had a solid head start before we started releasing content. So like we're already well ahead of everything. It releases 1 page every 2 weeks. We should be able to keep that up. And then we'll continue doing that here through the next year, hopefully get the first 2 seasons of content done, which again, that turns into 2 floppies that I can sell and then have a special edition for our Patreon people.
Sorry to interrupt, guys. I got to take off, but I just want to say, hey, Wise guys, good to see you.
Likewise. Take it
Mike
easy.
Oden, Lola, I love you guys.
Nothing but love, Will. We love it when you come around, man.
Mike
It's great
Oden is
hearing from
again
you.
is seriously one of my favorite people. He's a great man, great, a dedicated person in all facets of his life. So you can trust that he's always going to deliver and keep his word as a man and a soldier.
Yep.
Flying Feline, good to see you, Luke. I love you too, man. But I want to also say that last night, Jason Black and Wolverine had me. They were on fire in the chat and Alley show. They were just had me rolling. I don't know where they were getting it, but they were inspired last night.
Oh yeah, so everybody go check out Ellie's stream from last night. It was her and Will last night talking. What were y'all talking about?
We were just talking about the curriculum of the school system, and it was half remembered facts, but it was funny. It was a good time.
Yeah,
it was serious.
Killed it.
It was serious in the beginning, but by the end of it, we were just laughing at everything.
Because it's pretty much all you can do now, right?
All right, so I don't want to take up any more of Oden's time. So you guys have a good night. All right,
We're awesome, Will. Thanks for coming on, man.
all right, guys, bye.
Bye.
Have a love, brother.
Yeah.
And there were 3.
Yeah.
I got Jason Black here. What's up, Jason Black? He had a good comment. He said, "I'll never forget the little people."
Absolutely.
No, you never forget the people that help you rise, right? Like we rise together, and that's how it works.
Oh, yeah.
You never forget the people that support you.
For sure.
Absolutely.
And the ones that encourage you and that just show you absolute, like, nothing but love.
Oh, 100%. And yeah, like it's one of those things where it's still kind of surreal that I am where I am. Like it hasn't really hit me yet that like, I've produced 3 books in the past year. And it's been a long year, but
it's always a long year, man. It's always a long. It's a fight, right? Like we all gotta climb to the top, and like to climb to that top, you gotta put out your best, and you gotta do the best.
Absolutely.
But it takes people working together and who actually care about your success. Like
100%.
Like everybody looks at this as a competition, right? Like you shouldn't look at this as a competitiveness unless you're competing against yourself.
Sure.
I mean, every like at the end of the day, this is still an industry, and so like there has to be like you have to look at it from a competitive angle to a degree,
Right,
but
right.
like it. I think that you did hit the nail on the head that it should be a whole thing of, all right, let's take a look at what these other creators are doing, how they are able to perform better than, like, what can I do to reach that next level? Like, what am I missing? And then you challenge yourself. You
Right.
challenge yourself to rise to the next level.
There is nothing wrong with healthy competition, right?
Yep.
Like we live in a world that tells us that, you know, everybody's supposed to get a trophy for just participating, and that's not the way that it works. That's not the way life works, people. Like, you don't get a trophy every time you compete. Like, what Mike's doing here is, like, he's working his ass off to get his name out there, to build his audience, to let people know, hey, I'm here and I'm doing shit. And
Absolutely.
that's one of the things I absolutely love about you, Mike, is that you're a hard worker, and that you're actually, like, you're putting it out there. You're putting yourself out there.
Oh, 100%. And I grew up in an environment where it was very much like, I was always taught that you aren't going to get anything handed to you. You fight for everything that you have.
Well, see, okay, I grew up in an environment where I was taught that you work for everything that you get. Nothing is free in life.
Absolutely.
And so, if you want something, you work for it, you know? And I really think that Mike's doing something here. Like, you've had the Embrace and Elysian Fields. Elysian Fields was fucking awesome. Like, I absolutely love Elysian Fields.
I really appreciate that. It's a story that's near and dear to my heart, and I'm not going to lie that when we the second campaign did not perform as strong as I had anticipated, and it was with in tandem with a lot of stuff I was dealing with in my personal life. It was almost a breaking point for me. It was really rough because I was like, wait, there are all these people that are saying that they want to support this, but I'm not seeing it reflected in the numbers. What am I doing wrong?
But did you not see it reflected in the numbers because you weren't putting yourself out there as much as you could have, or?
Not at all. I was on like 5 or 6 streams a day.
Okay, so maybe people didn't understand, or they hadn't seen the first one, because Elysian Fields was actually a really good story, and it had really good art to it.
Well, and I chalked it up where we did our campaign in like the fall of 2019 or fall of 2020, whenever the this past election happened. And so a lot of people, because it was gearing up for election season, had just turned social media off. And that's what I effectively gear it up to, is like,
a lot of people disconnect during elections and during politics. Yeah. Like, I have friends that do that, like, really good, like, close friends, and they literally, like, they delete all their social media. Yeah, so that they don't have to see any of the bullshit.
Yeah, and that's effectively what I think happened, because we had a few people that realized that, like, had come back to social media right as we were closing down.
Let me just say hi really quick to Tony. What's up, Tony? Thanks for, like, showing up in my chat, man. I absolutely love what you're doing over there with ETEP. Like, you guys are awesome. Okay, sorry.
You're absolutely fine. The chat is important. The chat is the lifeblood.
Well, the chat is who supports us, right? Like, the chat is the ones that goes over to the links that are posted, and they're the ones who actually, like, support what we're doing. So
yeah, we're nothing without the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. They as I said, they are the lifeblood. They help us do the things that we want to do, and they make our streams that much better because they're there giving us inspiration.
I'm the type of person, like, I want to see everyone succeed in this. Like, this is an awesome community for networking and for getting out stories and great art and, like, connecting people, right? Like, this community connects people. It connects artists to writers, and people have these, like, great, grandiose ideas, and they want to get them out there. But the way we do that is we also connect with our chat who supports us, and then, like, myself, who is a customer who makes their own channel. Like, one of the things we do is we come out and we connect you guys, right? Like, it might be someone that you never knew who comes along and like might be the perfect person for your project.
True.
Oh, 100%. And that's the beauty of it. It's like, you mentioned linking up with people.
Oh, I hear a little one.
Oh, you want this? Okay, here.
Just give it to him. Give it to him, Dad.
But
Look, I'm a mama, and my first instinct is just give it to him.
You're a pushover, Lola.
I am a pushover when it comes to babies. Babies are most important.
Wolverine says you can also never predict when the lion's share of people will just suddenly hit a period of "I've got no money."
So and that's totally what happens too. Because I've definitely gotten a fair share of messages like, "Hey, man, is there any way I can like PayPal you for it later? Because I've got like nothing."
Well, see, that's the thing, though. Like, that's what people need to understand is, like, even if you can't back a project right now, you can still share it out there and help creators, because then that helps them create more, right? Like, the more backing and funding that a creator gets, that's more that they're able to put out there for you. And like, we're going against the big two, right? Like, the big two is putting out shit freaking product. So like, why the fuck won't we support each other and just come out and like absolutely just rock it?
Yeah, absolutely. Hold on 1 second.
No, you're good. You're good. Take care of the baby. Take care of the baby. My mama heart says take care of the baby first. Everything else comes after that. Like,
Wolverine says, "Just give it to him, Dad." Lola, that's how you ended up with tarantulas and scorpions and other weird, not cool shit in your
this
basement.
is true. This is so true. So Mike, did you know that I have tarantulas and a scorpion in my basement?
I
And
had
I'm
no
fixing to
clue.
get an axolotl. You know what an axolotl is?
Not at all.
Let me pull this up for you. Let me show you this thing. So like, my soon to be 8-year-old has been begging for this thing. It's called an axolotl. And it's a rescue. I just want to point out to everybody, it's a rescue because they are an endangered species. But she has been asking for this thing, and they are so freaking cute. I mean, I can't blame her. I think it's a girl thing. So we've got everything set up for this thing to come into the house. But this is exactly how I end up with all this shit. Like, we have a what is it called? A pink-toed tarantula?
Huh. Really?
It literally has pink toes.
Is that right?
Oh, man.
Can y'all see that?
Oh, my goodness.
Right? Like, this
It
is
looks
what
like a Pokemon.
Right? It looks like something out of like some weird
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
like video game or something. Like, I couldn't even explain. But I have a scorpion in my basement. Not lying. I have a scorpion. And it's all because I didn't say no. My kids were like, please. And Dad the whole time is, of course, coordinating all this. And it's like, yeah, we're at the pet store and the kids really want this. And I'm like,
Don't give in. Don't give in.
well, like, I have certain rules, right? Like, so my rules are, if I don't have to see it and I don't have to take care of it, then it doesn't exist.
The drill sergeant mentality. I dig it.
Yeah.
If
So
I
I'm
don't
like,
see it, it didn't happen.
like, as long as it stays in the basement and I never have to see it or take care of it, I'm good. But the moment you ask me to come down and look at it, I'm done. So let me tell you what my husband did. The other day, like, he has a curly haired tarantula and it molted.
Oh, God.
Okay.
And if everybody in the chat doesn't know, molting with a spider means it basically sheds its outer layer as it's growing. And so like my husband was freaking out. He was like, I think the tarantula's dead. And I'm like, what do you mean it's dead? Like, apparently these curly hair tarantulas, they dig, right? Like they dig holes and they hide and stuff. And so this tarantula had molted, and then it had dug down into like the whatever it is that he has down there for it.
Sand or whatever.
Yeah, like sand, or I think it's like some kind of weird rock or something. But it had dug into this, and so like when you look at the molting of it, it looks like it's dead, right? Like it looks like the spider is dead because it's up on its back, and it's all like withered up, and you're like, what the fuck? And so he lifts up the little decoration that he has in the tank, and the spider is actually underneath the little skull that he has in the tank. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Because I would have, like, he was freaking out. He thought his spider had died. And I was like, I was in a whole, like, another level of just, oh my God, what the fuck? I was like, now I'm seeing it. Now I'm having to deal with it. Like, we're going to have to get rid of these things because I cannot handle this. But yeah, so we're getting an axolotl that's a rescue. And our daughter is super excited. Like, she wanted it for her birthday. And we were like, I don't know. And then, like, he found a pet store that had them. And we were like, okay, we'll do it for your birthday. So.
Do you care for them like you care for frogs?
You know, I don't know. I know they're really delicate, like they're really sensitive, and so I'm really worried. I'm afraid that we're gonna like buy this thing and it's gonna die the next day, and she's gonna be heartbroken.
Oh no!
Well, learning about the circle of life, right?
Right. But I think we've already learned about that. Like, one of the things we did when she was, I guess when she was about 2, somewhere between 2 and 3, we'd gotten her a beta fish.
Oh god!
Oh,
They're the worst.
Oh yeah,
so
they are
hard to take care of, and they're dicks to everyone.
Well, let me tell you what happened with this beta fish. Okay, so I guess one of me or my husband had forgotten to put up the fish food high enough where she couldn't get it at the time, and so she'd gotten a hold of the fish food and dumped it all into the fish tank.
Oh no!
This was our first introduction to I guess death. So she dumps all the fish food into the fish tank, and it literally like smothers the fish. And I go in there and I'm just like, I'm in panic. I'm in full on panic mom mode. Like, how do I explain this to my 2 to 3 year old? And she's just like, I sorry, mommy. I sorry. I so sorry. And I'm like, sure. Yeah. I was like, we're never doing this again. And guess what?
Doing it again.
Both my kids now have fish.
Oh god!
It's the parenting life, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Does your kid have any pets, Mike?
So with my situation that I have, like we don't have any of our pets or anything, but my family they have a 2 or 3 year old yellow lab, Mira, who is like James's best friend. Like they get along pretty great.
Oh my god, let me tell you about my 2-year-old. So like my mom has this rat terrier. And so like I take her to see my mom. Like my mom lives like 2 hours from us, so we don't see my mom a lot. And so like I take her to see my mom, and like she sees my mom's little dog, and she's like, kitty cat. I'm like, no, it's not a kitty cat, it's a dog. But like the whole weekend she calls this thing a kitty cat. And she's so convinced it's a kitty cat. Like she's meowing after it and everything. And I'm just like, no. Where did Mike go?
Michael, are you there?
Sorry. The kid was asking me a question.
Oh, he's on dad duty. So we'll just keep talking about pet stories. What about you guys? Have you had any pets? Any weird pets?
Not weird pets, just the usual. You know, I've had goldfish. I've had box turtles, mice.
Oh, dude, we've had some of those. Like we had 2 box turtles. We had a red-eared slider. we had a snapping turtle. Like, we found this snapping turtle, right? And it was the size of a $50, and it was literally like laying in the creek. And like, I went to step down, and when I went to step down, he was just like sitting there hanging out. And so like, we picked him up and brought him home, and we grew him, and he became like the size of a saucer before we let him go.
Oh my gosh, and you let him go. Wow.
But the red-eared slider, there's an interesting story with him because like a cow had literally stepped on his back. And so like, he had this imprint into his shell. And so like, you know, we took him home, we nursed him, and like got him back to good health, and we kept him for 2 years. So he was our first turtle, and we had him for 2 years.
Can I talk to my little
Sorry, little one came in. But anyway, so we nursed him back to health, and then like, he ended up getting to be he was huge. He was probably a good 10 pounds before we let him go.
I see that you've been invaded for mama duty.
Oh yeah, I'm always inundated for mama duty.
Johnny Cage is asking, any of you want a little baby sheep?
Baby sheep? No.
Thank you.
Look,
no, thank you,
I'll
Johnny.
pass.
I can do reptiles, and I can do arachnids, and I can do stuff like that. But when it comes to stuff that I actually have to put forth the effort for, that's a no bueno. No bueno.
And
like, I'm still surprised I've got children that are breathing and living in like, you know, in one piece. I'm doing good with that. Let's not bring anything else into this.
Hey, Fade. Fade's just stopping by for a like. Lola, hope you guys have an awesome stream.
Who? What? Where?
Fade Salvation.
What's up, Fade?
Awesome,
What's up, my brother?
And Fizz Chozo popped in too.
What's up, Fizzy?
Phantasmagorial says, we have a zebra knee and a pink-toed tarantula, 2 leopard geckos, frogs, and a green tree python at the moment.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Sugar Chris, what's up, Sugar Chris? You in that red dress, brother? He said my niece would probably take that baby sheep or my mom. I'd have to convince them not to. Yeah, what is it with us females and like cute little fuzzy animals? Like, we all want to like just grab them all up and like cuddle them all.
Yeah, it's all about small and cutesy things. It's why things like Sanrio are so popular. Tiny little cute characters.
Johnny Cage says, come on, if I can take care of a couple hundred sheep, y'all can take care of one. No, Johnny, no. Look, my house is literally where animals go to like croak, okay? Like, I've got a story about this. I've got a literal story about this. A friend of mine, she picked up it was a groundhog, I believe. It was something of that sort, right? Like, it was a baby groundhog. And she'd been nursing this thing for like 2 weeks, right? And then she literally fed it in my driveway. She brings it in my house, sits it down on my table. Like, my table has these drawers that you can pull out, right? And so she sits it down in the drawer of my table, and she goes to get it out, and it's dead. It's literally dead. Like, I'm like, what in the hell has happened? Like, literally, things come to my house to die. No sheep. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Like, if it's not an arachnid or a reptile, it cannot be here. That's the only things we can keep alive. And fish, apparently.
Wolverine says, I'll never understand why people would bring literally any of those things into their home. Those things are reasons to nuke the house from orbit. No, not pets.
Sugar Chris, I wouldn't be so sure about that.
What?
She'll reach the furry suit before he gets the dress.
No. We are neck and neck right now, but he is ahead of me. So if everybody that's in this chat right now would go over and subscribe to Chris, Sugar Chris.
Is it the race to 1,000 subscribers? Is that what it is?
Yeah, so like if I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna wear a furry suit and live stream. And if Chris hits 1,000, he's got to wear a red dress.
Oh, I'm aware. I've seen the fan art.
So we are going to get Chris to this 1,000 before me.
I mean,
because I want to see him in this red dress before I ever have to put on this furry suit. Like, I'm not worried about growing. I'm not worried about like getting some subscribers over here. Like, no, I don't have to wear the furry suit if I don't hit 1,000. So go over there and subscribe to Sugar Chris. Give him all the love so that he can wear that red dress. I will even send him a red thong to go with it.
I mean, he's got the curves to pull it off.
Yeah, he does, and he's got the hair. Have you seen his hair? He got that on fleek.
I need the fan's not going, buddy. I don't know what to do for you.
Yes, tell us better way.
Wait a minute. Mike, didn't you have another project you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I do actually. Let me pull that up. So, for those that don't know, I do a lot of freelance work. I've been doing a lot of freelance work in the industry. I've written some scripts for some people and what have you. And so one of the scripts that I've written recently is for a book called Shift, which just launched this past Friday. And so let me get that share screen up. This is a really fun book. I put the target audience between the ages of 12 and 16.
Right on.
So like it's a great family friendly book.
As soon as you get pulled up, I'm gonna let you talk about it for a second while I go potty.
That sounds good. I've got it pulled up. So you go on ahead and bring me on, and then we'll take a look.
All right.
All right.
You take over. I'm gonna say, "What's up, Romer? Love you, brother." I'm gonna head to potty, and I'll be right back.
All right.
We'll see you when you get back, Lola. Anyways, so
Wife, ask many questions.
This is Shift, and Shift is an up and coming book from Dragon Multimedia LLC. It takes place in this world called Shiobia, where, as you can tell, things are a little bit different. Everybody's kind of an anthropomorphic, kind of like what you see in like Zootopia, where like they're people / animal kind of deal. But our main character, Sunny, has a secret, and she has this shifting ability, that comes from her being an alien and what have you. And she comes from a legacy of heroes, and so she's trying to kind of find her way into that legacy. And it's a really fun start to this journey. It was really interesting for me to do because it's very different from the majority of books that I've worked on. I consider like that was one of the big things that drew me to it, is that it is very much out of left field of what I've worked on previously, and so it was a really cool challenge as a writer.
Did they present you? Oh, sorry. Did they present you with the art, character designs?
Yes and no. The way that it worked was Connery had a whole bunch of stuff that he had already had done, like from character concepts and everything like that. So yeah, like we had character designs, but they're very different than what you see now, because he was initially using a very different artist than Rigo, who is the person that's doing the book. And so like the characters are practically unrecognizable in the original files to what they are in the book. And Rigo's done an absolutely fantastic job with this. It's a really, the script is very fun, and I think the book like speaks for itself. It's got a very very stylized look to it, but it's fun. It's got family friendly written all over it. So like if you have kids, this is like the perfect book to get a hold of. And we've got all sorts of fun extras. You got t-shirts, we have a plushie.
I love the extras. Oh my god.
Yeah, like
I'm all about some extras.
Yeah, and we like our best tier, our featured tier, called Loving Shiobia, is like you get everything. So you get the plushie, you get a T-shirt, you get the standard edition of the book, you get the two, you get the B variant of the book, you get the two variants of the special edition, you get everything, and you get all of that for $65.
Wow.
Base. So like.
Game?
Nobody, not right now.
Bless his heart.
Yeah, and so it's one of these things where it was really fun to work on the script, and Connery tapped into my expertise a bit on running campaigns, and I've been offering this campaign charting service, and so I actually built this campaign as well, and it's the fact that we're a day in, and Connor, like this is this guy's first book, and we're already approaching $1,000 at the end of the first 24 hours is a really good sign. With our flexible goal of 4K, that's a really good start to this campaign for 30 days. So I think that we will definitely hit the 4K mark, and if we can get it to 8K, that would be awesome. I know that we have some stretch goals, for some small stuff like buttons, mini prints, trading cards, and at 8K we're going to make the deluxe editions of the book holofoil.
Awesome. That's awesome, man.
Those are the big things that we've got there, and as I said, it's a good time, and
And we all know that Mike Oden delivers. Like,
Yep.
Like whether you're ordering a pizza or you're getting you a comic, Mike Oden delivers. I'm just gonna tell y'all.
I might even over deliver if you're ordering the pizza, but I mean, hey.
Ooh.
10 minutes or less.
Ladies in the chat. Go look up Elysian Fields up on Twitter and hit him up because he over delivers. He'll deliver more than just a pizza for you.
Absolutely.
10 minutes or it's free.
If you're a local comic book buyer, I generally handle local deliveries personally.
Well, there you go.
And that's actually not even a joke.
What about Sugar Chris in a red dress? Would you deliver for him personally?
I mean, where does Sugar Chris live? Because if it's not in the DC metro area and I have to drive a surplus of 6 hours, sorry.
There you go, Sugar Chris.
But
you're in the right vicinity.
That's the whole thing though, is that. I think that was another big thing that got me a lot of clout in the industry, is that all of the people that backed both Elysian Fields books, if they were within a 10 or 15 mile radius of me, I delivered their book personally.
That's awesome.
There was pictures on Twitter of I think Robert Romano has been a customer of mine since the 0 issue, and he's
awesome. Robert Romano is awesome.
He's great. I completely caught him off guard. Generally these books take a while to do, but as I said, if I put out a deadline.
There you go, Mike. Look, Sugar Chris says he's about 3 hours from
DC. Okay, Sugar Chris, if you're wearing the red dress and everything, I'll drive 3 hours for you. But you've got to be wearing the 3 hours, and you have to have purchased the top tier on a campaign that I do.
There you go. There you go. Sell it, Mike. Sell it, baby.
I mean, I'm doing it. Because 3 hours is that's a long drive, but I can make that swing. But anyways,
No,
uh,
look, you never know. You might make a really good friend, right?
well, I've been on Sugar Chris's channel before. He's a great dude. I love hanging out with the guy.
Oh, I love Sugar Chris. He's like what? Like he's my people. That's my people right there. Like
But
he sings a song of the South, man.
but yeah, no, it's definitely it's definitely been an experience getting in and doing a lot of this stuff, and it was really funny. Rob was not expecting me at all. I don't even think he was expecting like the book for like several months because these books generally take a while to get out. But I was like, yeah, no, I said I would have it by the by October, and we got it done 3 months early. So yeah.
I agree with you, Jason. Like that is customer service right there, right? Like customers are supposed to be important in this whole business, right? Like everything that we're doing, customers should be like the main focus because you want more to come in.
Absolutely. I just saw Sugar Chris's most recent comment where it says Lola trying to butter me up and get me in that dress. I mean,
Sugar Chris, I don't have to butter you up, baby. You gonna get in that dress no matter what.
Oh man, that southern accent.
That's how it works. You gonna be in that dress and you gonna be flaunting just like Fancy. We should change your name from Sugar Chris to Fancy. You fancy, Chris. You fancy. Dolly knew what she was talking about when she was singing about it.
Wolverine.
Sorry. I'm getting off with the chat here.
no, you're all good. As we said, chat is the lifeblood.
Does the butter coating help you get in the dress? Wolverine is asking.
Depends
I
on
mean,
how
that is-
tight the dress is and what it's made of.
Yeah, just get your size and you
It
should be
certainly
fine.
couldn't hurt.
Well, men have different shapes than women, right? So,
Yeah.
like, men are more straight. They don't have hips like women do. And dresses are designed to go around those hips. So,
Yeah, the hourglass portion.
yeah. So, it might take some butter. I don't know. Depends on if he's got that muffin top or not.
Romer says, "No, Lola, think of the children."
But no, everybody should like Mike Oden because he's good people. He definitely delivers a great product. I can attest to that. Like I've received Elysian Fields. It was beautiful. It was a great story. And I backed the embrace.
And you'll be
So,
getting that book here in the next month. As I
yeah,
said.
I'm looking forward to it.
Ooh. And
Wait, what? Yeah, because Lola probably wants me in a few sizes smaller dress to show off my curves. No, honey. You don't go a few sizes smaller. You go a size bigger, and then it hugs in the right places, and you're good.
Sugar
Yeah.
Chris is saying, "How dare you accuse me of not having hips and of having a muffin top?"
Well, no, I don't think Chris has a muffin top. I'm just saying, like, you don't know what COVID's done, honey. Everybody's putting on that COVID-15. I'm just saying.
oh yeah.
Jeez.
Luke's got it right. If you got it, flaunt it. Chris, flaunt that. Flaunt it, girlfriend.
Flying Feline says, "You'll just have to prove them wrong, sugar."
Exactly. That's why you got to get in that red dress, honey. Get in that red dress, and then we'll know if you got that muffin top or not. But no, to get back to what we were talking about here,
Not a big deal.
Mike Oden, he definitely delivers. He's a great guy. I love his work. I will always support Mike Oden. Anything he puts out, I don't care what it is, I will always be there to support it.
Well, I appreciate that, Lola, and it was really funny because I still remember, like, I've seen you on the periphery on a lot of things. I've watched your show a few times and what have you, and so I was like, I was just talking to Will, and then all of a sudden I was like, man, I've really never been on her show. I should probably do something about that.
The last show that we had was really good with you, and like, I really like that, my audience gets to find out about the embrace, and I may have people in my chat that don't know about it, right? Like that maybe haven't heard about it.
Yep.
So, to have you on, to have you talking about it is just, it's refreshing. It's good. I like it.
And I appreciate having. I appreciate you having me on. We've got Comics Mate here in the chat, and
Oh yeah, I see that.
and
He's calling me out. What are you doing, Dean?
she's lying. He's an okay guy at best. You know what, Dean? I'll remember that, buddy.
No, I'm gonna go this in a Southern Mama route. Shut your mouth, Dean. Shut your mouth. You're being extra right now. We ain't lying. Mike Oden is awesome. He's creating great IPs. Hush your mouth.
Wolverine says Owen's too pure to be on the real Lola show.
Hey, I wanted to be on the real Lola show last week, and I think there was just a miscommunication on time.
Well, I'm in Central Time and everybody's in Eastern Time, so I try to keep it like straightened out, right? But in my head, when you say 10 o'clock, I'm thinking, okay, my time.
You would put down 11, and you'd posted it at 10 p.m. EST. You posted
Exactly. I can't keep the time zone straight. Look, we all need to be on the same time zone here.
Yeah, that's why.
You said we were doing it in like the next hour, and so it gets to 11, and I'm like, "Hey, are we doing this?" And I'm like fighting
But then
sleep.
you fell asleep, and I fell asleep waiting on you.
It's amazing.
We're awesome like that, Mike. That's why we work so well.
Yep, it was a good time. I'm always happy to come on the real Lola show. I was an infantryman. I might be professional, but I can get raunchy.
You can get more degenerate than probably most of us if you were an infantryman. Woo!
You have no idea the stories that I have.
Them military boys, they dirty.
You have no clue.
Yeah, he'll fit right in on the Lola show.
No, like seriously, like I've never met anyone in the military that wasn't just like dirty minded and just raunchy as fuck.
Well, you need to get something off your to take your mind off of that.
Well, yeah, because if you're out there in the field with a bunch of dudes, like what the fuck else are you supposed to do?
Make a lot of inappropriate jokes.
Exactly. I appreciate you coming on, Mike, and talking about your projects with us. We absolutely love you here. You're always welcome. I'd love to have you over here more. If you want to come over more, just hit me up. Let me know.
Yeah, man. I will gladly come on here more.
Whoa! Did you just call me a man?
Yes, he did.
I don't recall. I'm tired. So
I'm just yanking your chain, Mike, because they say we're all 42-year-old men. I'm such a man.
Hey, I mean, it's okay to be one of the dudes. It's all good.
Luke says, one of these days I'll stay awake late enough for Lola's show. I know. I always get the Insomniac crowd because, and I love that. I love the Insomniac crowd because they're the guys that they're up late with me. They're the night owls. They're the ones who, they say nothing good happens after midnight. Well, you know what happens good? Lola after midnight.
Yep.
Which will be happening tonight. And you guys in the chat, if you guys want to go over and check out Wise right after this, we are doing a tiny food challenge. So I'm going to wipe the floor with Wise guys on tiny food.
What are you guys eat? Like, what do you mean by tiny foods? Like, what do we mean? What is that defined as? Like, are we talking like?
Wise, can you show us? Can you show us one of your kits?
Yeah, we got these things called poppin' cooking. Let me see if I'm even. Oh, all right.
There you go.
Yeah, poppin' cooking. So this one is a burgers and fries meal.
Oh man.
And they give you all these instructions. You've got these little trays that you cut out according to the directions.
Okay,
And
so are you guys like eating as many of those things as you can, or like what's the?
No. So like we're making it. What we wanted to do was like an Iron Chef type thing, but what we found out the last time that we did it is that we like to talk while we do it. So one of us tends to get ahead of the other. And so basically what we do is we make it while we're talking and just, kind of bullshitting around. And so like afterwards, whoever's looks best and we try it and eat it. Like mine was terrible. I lost the first round. Because it looked absolutely terrible. I've never done this before in my life. So I lost, but his looked absolutely amazing. He did an absolutely just phenomenal job, and it looked just like the picture on the box. And but we do this for an hour, and so we put these together, and then he ate his, but I refused to eat mine. Because it looked so bad.
she'll eat it tonight. She'll eat hers tonight.
I'm gonna make the kid eat it. Because now my kid wants to get involved with this. Like, she's all excited. Like, she came to me today and she's like, Mom, I'm going to be on your team, but I'm going to pretend that I'm on Wise Guy's team and I'm going to give him all the wrong instructions. And I was like, we can't do that. That's not how this works. But if everybody wants to go check out Wise Guys while we do this, we would absolutely appreciate it. We love you guys. We love the support. We love the encouragement. Everyone in the chat is absolutely awesome. Like, I love the people that come on this channel to promote their work. You're absolutely awesome. I love Mike. Mike is an awesome human being with an awesome personality. And I couldn't ask for any better. I'm super excited. I'm loving life right now. And you guys are the reason why I'm loving it. So I appreciate every one of you.
We appreciate you, Lola. Without people like you helping us, giving us a platform and everything, we wouldn't be here.
I just want to give love. I want to give back to the community that's given me so much to appreciate. This community has given me more than I can ever explain in words. And I like to give back to it because it is one of the communities that like I said, it's given me stuff. It's given me a new lease on life, and I can't appreciate that more than anything.
Absolutely.
You guys are absolutely amazing. Just keep rocking it, keep making these projects, and keep killing it out there, yo.
I'm sorry. Dean's in the chat, so he's changed back to the embrace picture like we didn't catch him yesterday with the Elysian Fields all over his face.
Are you sidestepping? Are you sidestepping the embrace?
So no. What had happened is that Connery was using Restream, and I didn't have I was trying to find a Nine Realms picture to put there, and I didn't have my Jim O'Reilly embrace piece soon enough on my phone. The first one that I found was the remaster of Elysian Fields, and so I just put that one up there.
Don't you find it funny when you do something and then like people notice? You're like, oh shit, I didn't even intend it that way. Like I was just doing it to do it. Like, Jesus, why are you calling me out, Dean?
I know why he's doing it. He's my co-creator on the Embrace, and he likes giving me shit.
A little jelly there, Dean.
I mean, he's the one that's constantly accusing me of trying to Bill Finger him. So, like,
So I just want to say to my chat, you guys, watch out for Mike Oden. He's doing great things. He's doing big things. He's a big name to look out for. Like I said, absolutely love him. Everybody go over to Wise Guy's channel. We're going to go do some tiny food. Yay!
Yeah.
Let's go do it. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thanks for joining.